All right. Well, welcome to La Mesita. My name is Daniel, and today we are broadcasting on Lumpen Radio 105.5 FM and our YouTube channel. We are connecting via video call with one of the members of Dos Santos. Daniel, welcome to La Mesita, Daniel. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thank you.
Well, Daniel Villarreal is a well-known drummer, musician, and DJ selector in the Chicago music scene. He fuses his pan-Latin style with influences of psychedelic rock, cumbia, afro-beat, boogaloo, rock, free experimental jazz, hip-hop, and funk to create an original contemporary soundscape. Daniel was most recently seen playing drums on season 6, episode 12 of the television series Empire. How would you say you approach the beat with? Would you say that it's kind of like you take part of your like daily life and kind of find a beat from there, or do you just try to find inspiration in other sort of ways?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. I think like what I do when I'm looking to put a specific beat on a song is just to play for the song. Play the style of the song that is being, um, what the song calls for. Like, for example, if somebody is doing like a cumbia song, like I'm trying like to play something that goes with the song, and then vice versa, like trying like to start a dialogue with the song, or with the musicians in the room. It depends because sometimes you can be in a live setting writing together, or you can be writing beats also in a studio. Then sometimes collectively we all created, and I provide the beats. Depends of the song that we're playing, and then depends of the different influences and things that we want to do for the song, but it's always playing for the song, not for myself. You try like to do something that is more for that goes with the song.
I know many people have already asked you this already, but how do you meet Los Santos and start this musical adventure of yours?
Oh yeah, with the Bando Santos, we all met in the city of Chicago. We all from different backgrounds, but we all have in common that we are musicians in the city. Then we got introduced with each other. Some of us were friends already, and some of us were is some another music colleague, and then we met, and that's how we started the band. Initially was brought by us through Alex Chavez, which is the singer of the band, and he had a guitar player. Then I joined the band, and then the band growth in over a year, and it was now we're a five-piece band, and that's how we got together. Like we all live in the city, we're like sharing the same style of music, and also we have the passion for the same thing, which was creating music together at that point, also.
So we already mentioned that you're from Panama. What made you come over to Chicago instead of other cities like New York, California, and such other states?
Yeah, I always was attracted to the city of Chicago with the history that they have with jazz music and also with blues. Then I also thought that the city of Chicago had more opportunity to become a full-time musician and also express myself as a musician in the city of Chicago. I saw also that was a very diversified when it comes down to music. In Chicago, you can find a jazz scene, a blues scene, a Latin scene, indie rock, heavy metal, all kinds of music. Then I felt it was a city big enough that I can find my identity as a musician and be part of that. Then that's the reason I choose Chicago, because it's one of the biggest cities in the United States, and also it's very diverse.
So, when on tour on other cities, do you have any free time to explore certain stores and whatnot?
Oh
Or
yeah, I do. I do when I'm in other cities. I usually try to go to some record stores because I collect vinyls. Then my passion for music and music listener also is collecting vinyls. And then I go to record stores, and then I start looking for all kinds of music, usually music that are more like non contemporary, more like vintage music, or more like unique. Then I also like to thrift shop. Then I go to thrift stores and I buy clothing. And mainly when I'm in the road, I find time to go to record shops or go to a thrift store. Besides eating and sightseeing a little bit when you have time. Sometimes you don't have time, and you just have to play a show and get running to the next city, and you don't get the chance to go out. But when I have the chance, that's what I do.
it's pretty cool, honestly. Do you have any favorite record stores do you recommend out there?
In Chicago, yes, I go very often to 606 Record Shop. Is in Pilsen, just across the street from Thalia Hall. And sometimes I also shop at Dusty Grooves. Mainly, those are my main record stores I go just to find some records.
Well, we'll be right back after this break, but keep in mind you're listening to WLPN LP Chicago 105.5 FM Lumpin Radio. We are broadcasting this via, video call, but we'll be right back on La Mesita. Do you have any song recommendations that you want us to play?
Yeah, we were talking about the Bando Santos. We can play a song of our latest album called Logos, and the song is Caminante. Then we can play that song when we have a chance.
All right.
Caminante de la vida, hechicero, dime que tú conoces de mi vida, si he cumplido mi deber de mal y de bien, ganar y perder entre oscuridad, busco claridad y así realizar.
And we are back. For all those people out there, we are talking to Daniel Villarreal, drummers of Los Santos. And let me ask you something. Before all this pandemic stuff with the COVID-19, you're recording in California with Los Santos. Can you talk a bit of the experience recording the new material for the upcoming album?
Yes, we are recording in California at Elliot Berman Studio in Los Angeles. And yes, we started around December of 2019, also the beginning of 2020. We have done 3 sessions over there. That's the upcoming album that we're doing with Dos Santos. Is Dos Santos like the two?
Hmm.
Then um, um, yes, that's what we're doing. We're starting recording a new album. We're very excited about it, and we're looking forward to the people to hear. We're using also a lot of different elements that we didn't used to have before on our albums, like electronics, drum machines, synthesizers, and things like that. Then we're looking for something very danceable and very unique when it comes to sound. Then hopefully we have all this done by this year. Before, like you said it, before COVID-19 happened, we were out there recording, and now everything's been on hold until everything opens back again and is safe to be out and gathering. Then we will be continuing and trying to finish this record.
I heard, well, when you were mentioning your past album logos, you said that you're incorporating more instruments like electronic, some you want to make it something to for like people to dance with and all that. Would you say that you're anticipating a lot of positive feedback with the new album?
Yeah, I mean, the fans of the band Dos Santos already they are used to a different album. All our albums have been different from each other, but also this album specific, um, we just make it a little bit more. Um, um, I mean, using modern elements like I said before, like drum machines and things like that. Because the album logos we mainly recorded that live in a live situation, like the whole band together playing in the same room. Most of the album, like 80% of the album, was recorded that way. We did some overdubs and recorded some, like auxiliary percussion or vocals after, some guitars. But the core of the album was done, live. Then when I said that it's a little bit different, just sound wise, it's going to be more with post production and also individually recorded each instrument and taking our time to do so for a clear sound.
Hmm. With the pandemic going on right now, free time for you to partake in anything that you wanted to always try?
Um, yeah, I mean, I've been practicing a lot myself. I have a Instagram uh, account, and I try to post there some of my drum videos. Then I post some ideas that I'm practicing with, and then I have more time to work on my drumming because usually I'm working or playing shows. When I mean working, I'm playing shows and playing live performances, and I don't have the time to sit in my instrument as for long periods of time to practice. Then there's always room to improve, and I'm taking this pandemic and shelter in place for me to sheltering in place and practicing at my home. Then that's what I'm doing, just to get just there's always room to get better and something new to learn, and you always be a student no matter what. Even if you become a master in your instrument, you always have something new to learn. Then I'm becoming a full time student again, and trying just to keep busy, keep creative, and keep working maintenance practice and working in ideas. Just to keep the love and passion for my instrument.
That's actually pretty cool. Like saying that we're all students right now, especially since I'm about to graduate in a moment now. It's kind of
Yeah.
scary.
Do you
Uh,
play instrument, Daniel?
I don't play an instrument at all right now. I do vocal. I'm a vocal type of person, but if there is like an instrument that's kind of like percussion wise, I think I'll be good at that. You know.
Nice, nice. That's cool. Yeah, I always encourage people if they always have the curiosity to try any instrument. Everybody has a drummer inside them, and everybody can be percussive, and everybody can be uh, exposed to music in their own ways, and experience that. And when you experience that, you find your way in what instrument you would like to play, and it's a beautiful thing when you find that contact, you as a person and the instrument. And like you said, you feel it, you feel inside of you. I feel I can be very percussive, and then when you do it, you're like, wow, this is something I really enjoy doing, and I can do more. Then that's how the passion starts.
Speaking about passion, during these times, what are some good ways that you work out at these times? You know, like work out at home, do some weights and all that.
Yeah, I don't usually work out. I'm not like that much of an exercise. I don't do that much exercise. I go out for walks, um, doing that, going outside when I can, when it's also safe. Right now I'm in Philadelphia. I'm kind of like on the outside the city, and it's very is the homes are not together to each other. There has a lot of room. It's very suburban, I would say. And then there's a lot of trees and nature around me. Then I can go outside, when it's a nice warm day, I can go outside and exercise, like by walking and just taking a walk. And sometimes walking is clears your head, and you just start thinking other things. And like today, I walked 2 miles
Ooh.
and then came back, and it felt great. That's a little bit of exercise that I do. But besides that, I don't go to the gym, or I don't go like lifting weights or anything like that. I'm trying like just to keep active, my body being active, instead of being like, I don't watch TV, then I'm not in front of the TV, or watching anything on the computer for too long. Then I'm always consider myself very active. With when it comes to my instrument, drumming is a very active instrument. Then you use all your hands and limbs and legs. Then that also keep me in good shape.
Speaking of being in good shape, mentally, during this whole social distancing that's been happening right now, do you find it hard to like keep connected with other musicians, your friends, your families during these type of times?
Yeah, it's like everything, like everybody experiencing the same thing. The same for musicians. You don't see my musician friends are my family also. I consider them family. Then I try like to keep in touch, and we do once a week calls, or trying to FaceTime. But yes, it's harder because everybody's trying like to take care of their own thing, and some people, they don't have a job, some people don't have any income, that you cannot go out, like often to see your friends at all. Then as before, you were able to do all that. Now that you cannot do that, you're limited. Then definitely, trying to keep in touch with my friends and musicians through, internet, or through calls on, the posting things about the band. Um, we're about also, like with the band Dos Santos, we're about to um, working more music, and hopefully releasing a video soon. With we can anticipate at some point, but trying to keep active and trying to keep in touch. That's what we just trying to act like everything is normal, but trying to do the best you can to communicate with each other, to keep in touch.
Would you say that that you're also collaborating with them on via, the internet and all that during these times?
Yeah, like we work in different projects through email or depend what it is. Like I say, it can be a video, it can be reviewing some of the tracks that we recorded back in LA. Um, there's always something to do, band work. Um, it has been a lot of cancellations of shows now with the pandemic. Then we're handling all that too. Also, trying to keep as active as we can, especially at this time, trying to not lose the momentum and trying to keep motivated mainly.
Let's take a little music break, shall we? And we'll be right back with more questions here at La Mesita. And keep in mind, you're listening to 105.5 FM Lumpin Radio, broadcasting here via video, your locality. So we'll be back.
Cobarde, afuera el que sea valiente y adentro que se hace tarde y el enemigo está frente al vivir de rodillas aconteceres de la vida al vivir con manos arriba aconteceres.
We just heard Undercover, a collaboration with Money Chicha and Dos Santos. Can you talk a little bit about this track?
Yes, this track we did it, like you said, it was a collaboration between the band Money Shisha from Austin, Texas, and Dos Santos. We did a tour, a national tour called Shisha Summit. This style of music, it comes from South America, Peru, and we did presentations in different cities. And then after we did that tour, we decided like, why we don't do a track together to support the next time that we do the summit, Shisha Summit. Then that's when the collaboration came in. We stopped in Austin, Texas, so we recorded a track with Beto Martinez, which he's the guitar player in Moni Shisha, and then that's how the collaboration came. Doing that, after doing that tour, and also like, to have something recording with the two bands that were in the same tour, collaborating together.
So on your Instagram pictures, we saw a lot of cool outfits, which I really like. I really like all those nice little outfits you have on. What's your ideal outfit on a Friday afternoon? Like you just, relaxing and just like, I'm gonna go for a walk type
Yeah,
deal.
well, I wear a lot of different type of things. I don't think like by day, like Friday afternoon or anything like that, but I'm always trying to keep it well dressed. I wear a lot of like jeans and shirts and hats, mainly hats too, and jackets. But For a Friday afternoon, I'm usually DJing somewhere. Then I'm very well dressed for that, and I have a hat, and sometimes I have a jacket or a blazer, and then some kind of boots. But usually, something with different colors, or kind of like just trying like to to not be the conventional, just trying to stand out. That's what I like. Not wear like what everybody wears. Then that's what I wear usually in a Friday night.
So not only do you post clothes on Instagram, but your title is The Brown Baby Jesus. I also noticed that you posted great collections of drums and percussion instruments. What kind of drum set do you take inspiration from to make a track?
It all depends. Every drums have a different sounds. I use a lot of Ludwig drums, which is my favorite sound. They're very kind of dry, and also they have a lot of flexibility to tune them, and you can go very high or very low with them. Then they're very versatile. Then and I like to have different options. Then I have Ludwig's. That's my main drum that will go with. But also I own some Gretsch drums, and then I own Slingerland drums too. Then I try also to keep my my drum sound a little bit with drums that are from the 60s and 70s. I like a lot of vintage drums. Then that how I will go about my sound. I would say it will be somehow like vintage, and also from that era. But yeah, those are the drums I use mainly.
Speaking of the eras, who would you say is your favorite drummer and why?
Yeah, well, I like a lot Tony Williams. Why I like him is because he played a little bit of everything, and he was very unique in a very young age. He is very well known by playing with Miles Davis. He's a famous trumpet player on jazz music. Then he did his career mainly playing with him, but also he played fusion music, and he was one of the pioneers of fusion music. We was uh, fusioning, like the word says, fusioning a little bit of electric guitars with acoustic things, and incorporating more electric drums I mean, not electric drums, electric guitars components into like the jazz settings. Then I like him a lot because his sound is very strong, and also he was very innovative with his ideas, and he's been a big influence. Tony Williams is one of my favorites.
Since on your Instagram, we talked about how you collect drums and percussion instruments. How long have you been collecting and playing with vinyl, though?
Oh, with vinyl, not that long as drumming. I always have some vinyls, like everyone. Like you buy records and you have them, and your favorite band that you play at home when you're like weekend, or cleaning the house or something. You have an album by playing in the background. But my passion on that, probably I would say, it started like almost like 5 years ago, and then I started collecting more and more. Then I can consider myself kind of new into the DJ scene, but not a new listener. Then I've been listening to music for I'm playing music for more than 25 years. Then I just like to collect like you said, like the drums. Also, I like to collect good vinyls, and I'm always looking for something that is not the popular thing, and is kind of obscure or weird or unique. Then, because I like to play something that no everybody has. And of course, sometimes I play some popular things, but not often. But mainly my route I go is trying to play some underground music that are very, you know, uh, heavy on the groove or very unique.
So now let's come back to what's happening now with all the COVID-19 shenanigans and whatnot. Do you have a favorite application or software to make music on, to either share or make?
Or to share music, or to listen, or what?
Um, just to make music,
Okay.
if you use any. Yeah.
Yeah. I started using. Well, I have like a live recorder, a Tascam live recorder, and I use a lot of my phone to record some demos and ideas. Um, I start putting them in GarageBand. Then I don't have anything fancy. I don't have Pro Tools. I don't have any of that. Then I start messing around a little bit with GarageBand lately. That's the program I've been using to upload some files or to listen or to cut them or things like that. But now with phones, you can do a lot of editing in your phone, and you can capture a decent sound. It depends how high of a quality you would like to go, but just to record some stuff that are personal, that are not like going to be released in a big, like it's not going to be a big release, then you can go by doing that.
Coming back to the collaborations that you've done, are there any local or international music projects that you recommend people to listen to and why?
Um, well, from Chicago, like I would recommend, the people to listen. There's a lot of good music coming out. I'm in this record label called International Anthem, and the artists that are in the label, they're s- besides they're being friends, they also release a lot of good music. Then I like a lot of the Jeff Parker. He's a guitar player that is under the label. His albums are great. There is also a Black Monument Ensemble. They're awesome to sing live, and just to mention a few, I like a lot of my friends' music. Um, I listen to. I'm in a project with another musician, this friend of mine, Vivian McConnell. I'm in a project called Volleyball, and that project is an indie rock project. But also, she has her solo uh, uh, music, the album. Those are another good things that are coming out of the city. Singer, songwriter, but also with nice backing band and great songs, great tunes. Then you can find a lot of new music in Chicago. Like that I would recommend coming out from that label, and also from other friends that I play with. Trying to keep it very original and fresh.
So let's take a little break, shall we, and listen to some of the recommendations that you said. Let's hear some of this fancy stuff.
Okay.
Two, three, I wished you a happy birthday from the stage, and I would say I want it back, never coming back.
are back, and we are almost done with this interesting interview with Brown Baby Jesus, aka Daniel, drummer of Dios Santos. How are you hanging on there?
All good over here. Trying to keep the positive energy and trying to, motivation going.
All right. What makes a band consider you second family and why?
Well, it's it's like anything that you do, like you get involved. When it comes down also to music, you have to have a good relationship. You cannot have, I consider family, because you cannot make music with somebody that you don't get along with. Then in the majority of families, people get along. There, of course, there's some family you don't get along, and they
That's
still
true.
functional. But I consider them family because we look for each other back, and we take care of each other, and we check in each other, and also we share we the same goal or the same interest, that is playing music. Then they're like brothers and sisters, and they become a family.
That's actually sweet. I like that. That's a great message. So when this pandemic is all over and all this madness is like cooling down, what's gonna be the first thing that you do out there?
Well, I'm going to try to go to either play a live show or play a DJ set or see some live events, support some of the local artists, because they have been the ones that have been very impacted by this pandemic, and also go out to the restaurants, be able to sit up in the restaurant and eat with your friends, or go out to a venue, and just in general, just to go out and gather with your friends. That's the main thing I'm going to start doing, to check out the scene and some live concerts and all that.
Well, our final question of the day. So sad. Well, here it is. If you can go back in time, what era or decade would you like to live in and why?
Yeah, I always get that. Actually, I was talking with my friend last night about it, and I told her that I will be back. I would love to be back in the 70s, because I feel like in the 70s, there was a lot of cool music coming out, like Jimi Hendrix, and a lot of the Woodstock, and kind of like electric rock and roll guitar and things like that. Also, there was a lot of like civil rights movements and freedom going on with all the hippies and things like that. Then I probably will be kind of like a hippie, like like
You'd be the hippie like jamming out and all that, you know?
yeah, I
Like
would
supporting everyone, you know? Feel the
back,
love.
yeah, like jamming, having like a nice a car with or a motorcycle, like I don't know. It's just I probably will be back in that era. I feel that that era was very cool, and but I would love to be back in time with the knowledge that I have now, as it is right now, and the the capability to play the way that I play now. But back in the 70s, I probably would be very happy.
I could see you in like the 70s with like a little Volkswagen van, just like driving around with all your stuff.
Exactly, exactly.
Well, thank you, Daniel, for being our special guest today at La Mesita. Uh, let
And
us know where we can find you and follow you on social media because I'm down to follow you anywhere.
yeah, that's fine. You can find me in my Instagram, Brown Baby Jesus. That's my Instagram.
It's
um,
hilarious.
yes, it's something I wanted to put something nice and easy that people remember. I mean, you still, if you put down my full name, they still Brown Baby Jesus will come. Then vice versa, you can find me with my name in there. Also, I have a website. It's called danielvillarrealmusic.com. danielvillarrealmusic.com. You can find me in social media, Facebook, Instagram, and my website, and in some videos here and there I've done in YouTube and things like that. And you know, definitely like I keep those updated and trying like to keep the people in, informing what I'm doing.
Well, thank you, and it was such a great interview, I must say.
Thank you.
And thank you, the viewer, for watching this, obviously. Well, this is La Mesita broadcasting from the comfort of my own house. Well, not my own, but my parents. Via the internet and all that. And you're listening to WLPN LP Chicago 105.5 FM Lumpin Radio. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and we hope to see you soon. My name's Daniel. That's Daniel. And just keep it safe, keep it healthy, social distancing.